Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live once again from Lawrenceville, Georgia, on this February 27th, ladies and gentlemen, the last Sunday of the month. Yep, February, Black History Month, only 28 days after tomorrow. We're going to creep into March, ladies and gentlemen. That will mean that will be the third month of the year, finishing out the first quarter. All right. So we talked about goals, a couple of weeks ago. I just challenge you to kind of look at those goals and see where you are relative to the first quarter of the month. So, well, first, before I even start, I want to give my heartfelt, condolences to those who know individuals out there in Ukraine. Our prayers go out to those individuals, in a situation of war. It's really tough because nobody really wins, So, in my morning meditation and my prayer, I prayed for those individuals that are over there that, they'll be covered and protected. So this morning, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to try to be brief, but I'm going to ask the question. And the question is, are you not able to make decisions? Do you find yourself in a situation where decision making is tough? Now, if that's you, I understand. Why? Because I felt the same way at certain times. So these are the things that I taught my team about being able to make a decision. So making a decision is like building a muscle. Okay. So go to the gym, right? You work out, you break your muscles down to ultimately build your muscles up. If you don't break your muscles down, they don't really grow. Okay. So when I say decision making is like building a muscle, what I mean by that is the more you make decisions, the more you're able to make decisions. So I teach my team at work that one of the hardest things to do is make a decision because we don't want to make the wrong decision, right? So what happens is it holds us, it binds us. And I support my team in making decisions, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? The key thing is being able to have the wherewithal and the confidence in making a decision. So if my team didn't make the best decision, right? I don't say right or wrong. I say best decision. Then I sit and I talk with them and say, okay, let's talk about this. Look at the totality of the situation and ask yourself, what could you have done differently, right? And now when the pressure's not on, they see certain things in a certain way and they realize they could have made a different decision. But I applaud them for making a decision. Now, in your everyday life, in your business life, if it's tough for you to make a decision because you don't want to make the wrong decision, I'm going to go back to what I talked about last week. I talked about a limiting belief. Now, if you cannot make a decision on something that you know a decision needs to be made, you have to ask yourself, do you have a limited belief? And do you trust yourself enough to make that decision? Why? Because what you realize is once you make that decision, now there's certain things that you're responsible for because you made that decision, right? So as long as you don't make a decision, you're not accountable for the decision that was made. So now here it is. There's something that you want to do in life, right? There's a business that you want to open, but you're just not so sure. Okay. So part of making the decision is doing research and understanding that at the end of the day, you may not get it right. And that's okay. Right. But really understand another thing that I talked about is your gifts versus your skills. Okay. So in making that decision, right, or in your ability not to be able to make a decision, are you operating in your skills or your gifts? Why? Because that will make a determination as to how fast you're able to make that decision. What do I mean by that, Thomas? What do you mean by that, Thomas? Well, what I mean is if you have to make a decision and it's based on your skills, you may have to go back to school or go get some more information on that skill set to be able to make an educated decision to go in that direction. If you're making a decision on starting a new business, doing something that's a little bit different than you're currently doing, and it's inside of your gifts, that's a little bit different, right? Because now you have to go inward and find out what are the things that are holding you back in your mind. What do you mean by that, Thomas? What did they say about you when you was growing up? How much of that do you believe? Are the things that they said about you holding you and binding you? Do you not want to be the person in front? Do you like being the guy in the back behind the curtain pulling the strings? Right? So now, based upon those just small criterias, you will see whether you're operating in your gifts or your skills. Okay? So now let's kind of take the gift side for a moment. The reason why I'm probably going to be on that a little bit more this year is the majority of us that's listening have done pretty well in the area of our skills. Why? Because our skills are in direct proportion of the income that we earn for the most part, for most of us, right? So what do? We go back to school, we get more education to get another position in our skills. So the challenge and the pull for me to you this year is how can we do the same thing and or be more balanced with our gifts? Why? Because somewhere in the book I read, it says your gifts shall make room for you, put you in front of great men. It doesn't say our skills. Okay? So the challenge and the question is, how can we take our gifts and start to hone our gifts so our gifts can be monetized? So we can start earning money from our gifts. Now, you may say, what does that have to do with making a decision? Well, I use me as an example, and I always do. This time last year in January, I'm going to post probably today or tomorrow my first Facebook Live that I did February 2nd of 2021, last year, right? So why am I talking about that? I'm talking about that because myself, and I said before, my community was challenged to go live. Why? Not to operate inside of our skills, but to operate inside of our gifts. If we say we're a coach, if we say, we do certain things, let people know. Let the world know, right? Because now when you start to do that, you start to move in your gifts. So the more you do that, right, the better you get. The better you get, now you can put some framework around a business model to help individuals based upon the gifts that your creator has placed inside of you. But this is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Most of us, not all of us, most of us won't make that decision. It's not that we can't. We won't. It's a choice. Why? Because sometimes we are scared to death. Has absolutely nothing to do with our ability to get the job done. You know why I say that? Because right now, tomorrow, on Monday, for your job, for corporate America, you do it every single day. So me and my partner say, hey, well, hold on. If we can do it for them, we can do it for ourselves. And all it takes is making a decision. But like I started off, decision making is tough, right? So if you need help in making a decision, right, you can hit my calendar. I'll put my link in there and we can discuss it. Free consultation. And we can discuss what are the things that you feel is holding you back from making that decision. Why? Because your success, ladies and gentlemen, my success, our success, one decision away. Not two or three, one decision away. Why do I say that? Because once you make a decision to move forward, and we always talk about this, right? Once you change, everything around you changes. Once you make that decision to move forward in those dreams, in those goals, in those aspirations, once you make that decision, everything around you changes. But do you have the wherewithal? Do you have the confidence? Do you have the faith? Do you have the tenacity to make that decision? Most people don't. Again, it's not that they can't, it's that they won't. This is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. The challenge is we live our lives every single day helping and making sure other people around us are fine. You're laughing right now because you know that might be you, right? We do so well in that area. But this is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. What we don't do, we don't put ourselves on our own list. Why? Because it's a whole lot easier to spend most of our time making sure other people around us are okay. Why? So we don't have to make a decision about us. Yeah, I said it. So I challenge you this year, 2022, put yourself on your list. Get the necessary tools, right? Speak to the necessary people. And like I said, I'm here if you want to discuss it. But get whatever it is that you need to get and or acquire based upon the gifts that your creator has put inside of you. Get that information. Why? Because this is why it's important. Every day we go to work, for the most part, a lot of us are not fulfilled. Why? Because our spirit man, in our quiet time, in our meditation, our spirit man is tapping on us. It's tapping on us because your creator placed something inside of you that you can't shake. You can't move away from. The challenge is we don't know what we need to make that decision. We don't want to fail in making that decision, you see, but it's inside of you already. What do you mean, Thomas? If your creator did not give you the provision, the ability to get it done, he wouldn't have gave you the vision. That's why you can't shake it. Every time you move, you can't shake it. It's always there. Well, what better time than now to just make a decision, right? I didn't say quit your job and go do it. No, just make a decision. Like I made a decision a year ago to go live just to share my gifts. Like again, I take no credit for it. It's just a gift that I have that God has given me to inspire people to move. Well, now I'm sitting there talking to you, talking to the world on this camera, inspiring you to make a decision. But what am I doing? I'm utilizing the gifts that He's given me. What did I do with it? I created a business, Tailor Your Dreams. We create a business model around that to help more people in a situation that can move them from where they are to where they need to be. That's someplace different. Why is that important? It's important for two reasons. It's important for me to continuously do the things that I know my creator placed inside of me. I said this the other day, and I'm going to say it again. I read the book, Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. Page 17, ladies and gentlemen. Page 17. The first words in the book says, it's not about you. How fast can we understand that concept? So here it is. I'm on Facebook Live talking to whoever's out there listening, realizing that what I have, what my creator placed inside of me, is not about me. I have something to help individuals that's listening? What do you have? What's inside of you, right? What are you afraid of making a decision towards? It's not the be all end all. It's just a decision to do something different. It's a decision to make your life a little bit different. How about those that are around you? How about your family? How about your children, right? Some of us that's listening are first generations where we actually have a whole lot more than our parents, right? So what happens is if the decision for your grandchildren, for your children unborn in your family lies on the decision that you're afraid to make, right? Again, I use myself as an example. At 38 years of age, God placed inside of me, a challenge to change my name. Well, who does it at 38, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody I know. But that decision, a tough decision, but a decision nonetheless, it had to be made. And because I made that decision to change our last name from Searles to Taylor, my grandchildren unborn will no longer have to live a lie. Their last names will be Taylor. Why? Because I made a decision. Was it easy? No, it wasn't. Right? Did people understand it? No, they didn't understand it. It did not stop me. And I hope those things don't stop you. Why do you say that, Thomas? Because the decision that you don't make affects individuals that you don't even know. Ooh, let that settle in for a minute. The decision that you don't make, it impacts people who are assigned to you. So again, if you need assistance in making that decision and or understanding what it takes to make a decision, reach out to me, right? I'm gonna provide my email address. I'm gonna provide my calendar, right? Just book some time, and we can sit and talk about what are the things that are preventing you from making the decision that you know you should make. Why? Because there's people around you that confirmed that information. They confirmed that you need to be doing X, and you know it as well. But we're sitting around waiting, hoping that nobody's watching, hoping that nobody asks us anything so we can stay comfortable. See, that's not where growth is, ladies and gentlemen. Growth is being uncomfortable. So I challenge you today, on this Sunday morning, February 27th, we are about to be 2 months into this year with 10 months left. In that time frame, do you have the wherewithal to make a decision that could change your life as well as your family's life? Well, you know what? I know you have it in you to do it. Sometimes we just need a little bit of help. Sometimes we just need a little bit of support. And if that's you, if that's what you need, you can reach out and I'll help you as much as I can. I promise you, I will. Why? Because I want to see you win. I want to see those who are assigned to you win. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? None of that happens if you don't make a decision. My name is Thomas Taylor III. As always, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege talking with you this Sunday morning. If you want to email me, you can email me at tyd@tailoryourdreams.com. If you want to follow me on social media, it's Thomas Taylor III. YouTube channel is Thomas Taylor III. That's Tailor Your Dreams. On this Sunday morning, I challenge you and applaud you to make that decision. Until we speak again, go out there and make it a great day.